here to help you with breeze. Planting seeds and teaching skills. Teachers turn schoolyards to dreams. Who hates school gardens with ease?
Should you use plastic to grow food? Hello, and welcome to School Gardens with Ease podcast. I'm your host, Leila Mireskandari, and this is episode number 40. Today, I am deep in the packaging, fulfilling, and delivering logistics of my Oasis programs. Even though the doors to the grade 3 to 8 programs are officially open till midnight tonight, I will not accept any local schools with the supplies delivery this late in the game because the program starts next week and we want to deliver at least half of the material of all of the lessons to all of our schools early next week. Anyway, long story short, I'm deep into fulfillment, packaging, and delivery. And I want to talk about a question, or better to call it a complaint, that I had heard at least once every year about the material that I deliver to local schools when they join my Oasis programs, and the material I have in my checklists in my programs for non local teachers who would need to go and purchase those, to run the program. Stuff like seeds and soil and planting cups and buckets, etc., etc. The major complaint is always about the plastic party cups that we start seeds in. And this complaint comes from a very good place. In fact, it comes from teachers who deeply care about the environment. And these are my kind of people. And I do very much agree with them, actually, that we should not use plastic the very moment that we can avoid it. First of all, let me be very clear. I hate plastic. Hate it. It's creating so much disastrous problems on earth that any environmentalist, and I am one by the way, wouldn't have any choice but hate it. There is plenty of supplies that I deliver which I used to have, that used to have plastic in it or was plastic, and I have replaced them over the years with better products as soon as I could. And constantly, I am searching and trying to get better with the materials that I deliver. In fact, I just replaced the plastic tablecloths I used to deliver to schools with a paper product that is still durable, meaning that it won't turn up the first time that the kids use it. It's somewhat moisture resistant in comparison to the regular craft paper. So if the kids spill water on it and they make a muddy mess, then it's not going to dissolve into mush, right? And all in all, sounds like a better environmental choice. I did that despite the fact that it still costs me the same for material and it adds to our labor as it comes in a roll and it has to be cut into pieces. I don't care. Even though I still charge the same, the schools the same amount. I don't care that my expense is going up higher because I care deeply about my impact on the environment. But, and you knew there was a but coming your way, sometimes in order to have a green handprint, we need to tolerate a bit of a footprint. This is something one of my permaculture teachers told me when he was faced with this question of why he traveled by airplane to come to teach us permaculture when we all knew the big and horrible footprint that the air travel has. He said, would you have preferred me not come and teach you instead? By teaching permaculture to so many of you at the same time, considering that each of you will go and do great things in this world with this knowledge, I will have such a massive green handprint that to me is going to surpass the footprint that this one time air travel has. No matter if you agree with this philosophy or not, we all know that people who care, they have to weigh pros and cons of their choices all the time to make sure that they make the best choice for the planet. And at the same time for themselves. And that's super hard and brain power consuming. And we can never be sure which choice was the best, electric cars or gas cars. Should we use plastic cups or paper cups? Should I buy local or organic if I can't find a produce that's local and organic? That list just goes on and on and on and on, and we're all dealing with it, those of us who care, all the time. And I really believe that this dilemma should never paralyze us. That's for sure. So, why plastic cups, you might ask? Why not paper pots or, clay pots or newspaper origami pots? You name it. There are other choices, yes, out there, but those are simply horrible choices for a classroom environment. And I speak from over a decade of experience doing this. One of the biggest causes of failure teachers experience when they plant seeds in their classroom has to do with overwatering or underwatering. They overwater because sometimes kids get really overly excited about watering and they overwater. They underwater because they get just busy and they forget. And before you just jump at me and say, well, those irresponsible adults, they have to be responsible and don't forget. I mean, come on, be fair. Teachers are the busiest people on the planet, and we constantly add to their plate and expect more and more and more of them every day of the week. They are humans too, and they can make mistakes, and they are very, very busy. So instead of blaming them or putting more or guilt on their shoulders, we should make it easier for them. We should build systems that support their busy and crazy work environments. And that's what's ingrained in every aspect of my programs. And I have found that the only seed starting method that ever works well in a classroom setting is a sub irrigation system. And sub irrigation cannot be done with pots that melt or go mushy or worse, get moldy when they are submerged. I mean, they are placed in reservoirs of water. So all those paper options are out the window. You could place clay pots or those, hard biodegradable planters that you can find at dollar stores in water, yes. But your pots also need to be flexible because when time comes to transplant those seedlings in the garden, you can't just pull the plant out or dig them out. You'll destroy the root system and the shock will kill them. That is not even an option. Is there anything else on the market that is moisture resistant and like plastic and is also flexible like plastic? In fact, there is. There is something called acetate, which is 100% plant based, flexible, and also moisture resistant. I have found it. I mean, I've always been looking for something that can replace the plastic cups for seed starting, but I've never seen pots and cups made with that material. I even explored the idea of making a template and getting them manufactured. It would have turned out to be so expensive that it was completely out of the question. We all know that funding is a huge issue in schools and no one can afford such huge expense. So, I still have not found anything that could remotely replace the plastic party cups we use to start seeds in the classrooms. And if you are thinking that if we can't avoid plastic, then we shouldn't grow our own food, well, you are not my kind of people then. Because I believe in having a handprint that's greener than my footprint. And I also believe we should always, always be on the lookout for better solutions, but never let lack of one paralyze us and keep us from moving forward. By the way, can those plastic cups be reused year after year? Yes, they can definitely be reused. All you need to do is to wash them properly and store them in a place and then bring them out next year and use them in your classroom. So there's always solutions. If you are a manufacturer or know a manufacturer or you're an engineer and you know people who know people, please, 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 if you can solve this problem, I'm all ears. Please reach out to me. If I can solve this problem, it would be like a dream come true, truly. I will talk to you next week in another episode. You've listened to the entire episode, and for that, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave me a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And please share this episode with other teachers who might be interested in this topic. See you next week for a new episode.